Welcome back to another episode of the State Champs Esports Show. I am here with Andrew Blanchard, the tournament director. We're here to talk about the postseason for our 2020 Spring League of Legends series. And before we get started, let me thank our sponsors, Lawrence Tech, Hungry Howie's, and Army, Michigan. All right, Andrew. So the season was long. Got kind of interrupted halfway through with our events going on. I hope everyone's staying safe out there. How have you been doing?
Doing good. Stir crazy as I think everybody's doing right now. It's been good though. It's very weird way to run an esports season though right now. Definitely wasn't expecting it, and we've done some work on the back end to try to make sure we can salvage the rest of the season. But yeah, it's been going well.
So let's talk about the standings for each division. Can you break down, starting off with Division 1, how teams ended up for this season?
D1 was super interesting. It was really back and forth. So we have at the top of the standings, East Kentwood Red, Team Loyalty, and East Kentwood Black are tied. All three are 11-4 on the season, with them mostly trading wins amongst themselves. But East Kentwood Red held the head-to-head over both Loyalty and East Kentwood Black. Loyalty holds the head-to-head over East Kentwood Black. So we have East Kentwood Red taking the top seed. Team Loyalty is taking the second seed, and East Kentwood Black is going to be taking our third seed. And right below them, we have DAKOTA Saplingz and Birmingham Legacy. Both of them are tied at 5-8. Sadly, they didn't get to play all of their games against each other. There's 2 games that I didn't have recorded for them. But the one game they did play, DAKOTA took the win right first off, their first game in week 1. So because of that head-to-head matchup, DAKOTA's taking the 4th seed, and Birmingham Legacy is going to be taking the 5th seed. Most of our divisions, you'll see, will have some teams missing. With all of the stuff going on with coronavirus and all of the other situations that schools have been dealing with, we've had sadly a number of teams have to withdraw from our tournament due to their school not supporting extracurriculars or anything of the such. So Brotherwise Warriors has withdrawn. They were our 6th team in D1. As for that, they are not going to receive a seed, and that will hold true for the rest of our divisions as well.
So how about Division 2?
Yeah, so D2 was absolutely dominated by our late addition, the ILLINEKS. They're from Illinois. We saw them last year. They played into our winners in the first round at Lawrence Tech in the postseason, so they got knocked out early. But they came back this year, and they were undefeated in their division, taking every game they played and claiming first spot in the with the 6th seed. As the other 5 seeds were already claimed by D1. Rounding out our D2 is VARSITY Esports at 11-4. They're going to be taking our 7th seed. St. Clair Saints are 10-4. They're going to be taking the 8th seed. There is a game that I don't have written down between St. Clair Saints and so those standings could change if there was a clerical error on our end and that game was played and we don't have it recorded. And then rounding out our D2 is Anchorbait Esports. Clarkston Wolves and the Rift Falcons out of Star International both withdrew. And so those are just the 4 teams in our D2 taking the top, the next 4 seeds. So seeds 6, 7, 8, and 9.
So last but not least, how about our Division 3?
D3 was the most, I think, upturned by everything that was going on with coronavirus this year. It's been really difficult to get the games in for these teams, and with a lot of them coming in and out throughout the course of the season. But remaining at the top of it all was our NORRIX Knights. They were undefeated in every game they played. They really stood head and shoulders above the rest of the teams in this division. Following up them is LINDEN Eagles 1, and then ILLINEKS B. So Unilab's B team took most of their games. LINDEN Eagles took just a few more. So NORRIX Knights are 10th. Eagles are 11th. ILLINEKS B are the 12th seed. And then LINDEN Eagles, with a few games played behind them, are going to be the 13th seed. And then Maryville and Austin Catholic both withdrew.
So, what can players and teams expect leading up to the playoffs and eventually the grand final?
Right. So we're going to be doing a slightly accelerated playoffs. We do have a little bit extra time because we don't have to make our live event showing at LTU. But in lieu of that, we are still going to be having our postseason weekend, right? In the past, we've done Saturday, Sunday. Games are going to be played. Teams are going to come to LTU, and we're going to live stream it all. This year, expect much of the same, just without the live event portion of it. It's our top 4. We're going to ask them to take the weekend of May. Yeah,
it's the 23rd and 24th?
Yes, yeah. The 23rd on the Saturday and the 24th on the Sunday. We're going to be asking those teams to take that weekend and be ready for games all day. We're going to be holding our first semifinal in the morning, our second semifinal in the evening, and then our losers bracket, because you heard it, we're going to be having a double elimination tournament this year. With all the extra time we were given, we were able to slot in a ton more games. And so we're going to be holding a double elimination. So our losers grand finals will be the first match on Sunday. The winner of that will move on to our winners grand final on that evening against whoever won from the day before. The way we kind of got it situated and structured is going to be our top 10 teams. So that's going to be all of D1, all of D2, and the Lloyd NORRIX Knights, who are undefeated in D3, are going to be playing for their spots in the top 4. The way it's going to work is our top 6 teams are going to be auto-qualified, and then the next 4 teams are going to be playing for the last 2 spots in a knockout bracket. That knockout bracket is going to be double elimination. So once we have all of our teams decided, we will move them into a double elimination best of 3 format. It's very similar to what we've done in the past. Each team will play up to 3 games. Whoever wins 2 games will move on, and the loser will move into the losers bracket. Once you get eliminated once you lose in the losers bracket, you are out of the tournament. If you win, you can continue on and hopefully make it to the winners grand final, where you can play to make it back into the winners bracket. Sadly, with the way games work out, there will not be a bracket restabilization game. So if the loser takes the first match against our winners, we're not going to be saying, all right, well, now the winners have lost a game, the losers have lost a game, and now we play another round between these two. Instead, we're going to do a best of 5 instead of the normal best of 3, which we figured will better highlight which of those 2 teams is actually going to be our best.
Okay. Like we do in the previous, you said we are going to streaming. Is there going to be anything different with the streaming aspect for this year, especially since we're going to be all online only and remote?
So you can expect much of the same, the way we've done before, except this time we're going to attempt to highlight more of our games with shoutcasters. So we'll get content in there with people talking over the course of the games. We're going to be highlighting specific games over the course of the postseason and try to get you guys every single game of the postseason so that everybody can watch all of the content and see how the other teams are doing, so you can better prepare when you have to face them yourself. So that's going to be the hope. And then for our streaming weekend, it is going to be pretty much back-to-back games. We're going to be holding our first 3 games of the day. We're going to be taking a short break. Our next 3 games, that will be Saturday. And then our first 3 games on Sunday of the losers grand final. And then the 5 games that will be our winners grand final. And all of those games will have shoutcasting and live commentary done for everybody who's watching.
And where can everyone catch these streams?
So we're going to be streaming live all of these games at twitch.tv/StateChampsEsports. Make sure to follow us now if you haven't already, so that you can be notified when we go live. We are letting the teams still kind of openly schedule their games if they need to, but games should be held on Tuesday and Thursday between 4 and 6 o'clock. So you can expect those times for when we will be streaming.
Is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap it up here today, Andrew?
I just wanted to thank everybody who's made it through this really unprecedented time that we've been seeing ourselves in. I hope everybody's been staying safe. Like Joel said at the beginning, it's been really hard for a lot of us, and I appreciate all the teams that have really stuck with us and stuck with the tournament through this. Anybody who's been following our content, following our Facebook, our Twitter, we've been trying to update as much as we can throughout the course of the season, but it's been really difficult for everybody involved, and I really cannot say how appreciative we've been here at State Champs for your following and your dedication to our content.
All right, well, thank you, Andrew. Before we wrap up, let me thank our sponsors again, Lawrence Tech, Army Michigan, and Hungry Howie's, and we'll see you guys next time.